Hello, I'm John Liu, Flow Ninja here, and today I have a video on how to hack the Power Apps response action, the standard Power Apps response action with a proper schema using Flow Studio app. And that allows you to control the input and output of how Power Apps communicates with Flow. So this is a fairly interesting and fun hack, but it will give you a lot of flexibility in how you can build your Power Apps. This is actually a flow I created a while ago, November. Let me just pop into it and edit. And let me show you, so from the Power Apps, we're not taking any parameter. We have a range of 0 to 10, but I don't believe we use it. Yeah, so that's so we don't actually use the range. Let's delete that. Okay, so we're calling some sort of data source, in this case SharePoint list with 5 items. We use select to clean this list to only 3 columns. And I believe we put the top on it, so we put how many we want on the top here. Then I do a parse JSON, so I take the output of this, put it into generate from sample, and it's created this parse JSON. If generally with parse JSON, I delete the required fields because they are not really required. Let's delete that. And then we have a standard response Power Apps, and we're not using the output. If I show you the peak code, it's really empty. So the body is an empty object, and the schema just says we have an empty body object. That's what that says. Okay. So save that. Next, we go to Power Studio. So this is the tool that I built, and we're close to 4,000 people that have tried it and are using it day to day. Log into Power Studio, and the edit JSON is a premium feature, but you're just buying one license. So go to Array, and Array. Power Studio let us edit the flow definition JSON. So the part I want to show you is we can collapse the. So here's the action response. Earlier we saw the body is this empty object with the schema. Now I deliberately did this parse JSON of head because I wanted to generate this thing. Okay, I wanted to generate this thing. I didn't want to hand type it. So if we hide the get items and the select, here we go, we see the parse JSON. And we see the parse JSON input, and this is pretty close. Parse JSON asks for a content, but the response wants a body. So we could just pretty much copy this all the way down here. That's the schema plus the body. So that's body plus the schema. We can just paste over that, and we can save this. This is where Power Studio does its magic. It saves it back. Now we want to close that. Then if we go to Power Apps, make.powerapps.com, make a new, it's a table layout, and we will insert a flow. Array output array, that's the one. So we could just do on the visible. So on the visible, we want to collect into our collection Xbox achievement. The data from that goes into the achievements, and then if we just add a gallery, gallery vertical, yeah, that will do. And if we quickly bind this to Xbox achievements, Let's have a look. So this is currently on the visible. Let's just put that over here into the app start. Let's put that in here. Okay, so if we do app on start, that's our data. Okay, and it's using the standard connector. There is one caveat. If we go back to our flow, if you open the flow, if you pick it, you'll see that the designer gets confused about what it's seeing and it blanks the whole thing out. It is one of the reasons I absolutely hate the Power Apps trigger and output. It just does not respect what you put into the definition. So this is also why I always keep this pass JSON here, because if you had to do work here in this flow and change how this flow behaves, then after you save the flow, you must head back into Power Studio. And if I I haven't saved yet, so if I show you, let me just save. And then if you pop back into Power Studio, you'll see that flows wiped it out. See the output is wiped out again. So just copy that schema again. Go over here and clean it up. Okay, and save that again. And as long as you keep this the same, you do not have to refresh Power App. So if I come back here and I run Power App again, because I collect twice, it's actually, let's do click collect. Okay, so let's do so you see it's come back. Okay, so as long as you keep the schema the same, you don't have to refresh Power Apps. And that's the same really with Power Apps input and output. If you change the input or the output, then unfortunately you have to go to the Power Apps that are using that flow and then fix it up. Now, being able to define your own output has some benefits. You can have fairly complex, you can query multiple data sources at the same time and then batch them together before you give it back to Power Apps. You can use it to load XML files and convert that to JSON. Yeah, lots of fancy choices. Well, that's a quick hack. That one is done with Power Studio. So you should try Power Studio. It's $20 a month subscription. Just one user for the maker. And that lets you edit the JSON. You can, of course, export the flow zip and then edit the JSON and then save it back. It's just a bit tedious and maybe easy to make errors. Anyway, hope this gives you lots of crazy ideas. I do this quite a lot because I like using Flow to collect data together and then use that to power my Power Apps.